Right now, lawmakers are hard at work on Capitol Hill. The 119th Congress began on January 3rd. We saw some new faces sworn in and also some familiar ones. Joining us today is one of those familiar faces, Virginia Senator Tim Kaine. He was sworn in for a third term. Senator, great to have you with us.
Thanks, Simone. Great to be back.
I know you just attended the service last night for former President Jimmy Carter. Anything you'd share with us about that moment and the impact that he had in your life?
Tremendous. My father-in-law, Linwood Holton, was the first elected Republican governor of Virginia, and he served as governor at the same time that Jimmy Carter was governor of Georgia. And they were kind of a new breed of Southern governors trying to make the Southern states more welcoming and inclusive. And then in his post-presidency, Jimmy Carter and Rosalind were very active in Habitat for Humanity, and my wife's mom, Jinx Holton, was really active in Habitat and went on a couple of Habitat builds with the Carters. And so there's a lot of family stories, but I think in particular his focus on diplomacy, helping broker the Camp David Accord between Egypt and Israel that has been an enduring peace, even during challenging times like right now, won him the Nobel Prize. And then all the work that he did after he was president on humanitarian issues like Habitat for Humanity. What a high standard he set for being a public servant.
I did want to dive in on some other questions that we're looking at. I wanted to talk about President Biden's decision to ban new offshore oil and gas drilling off the coast of Virginia. I know that you're in favor of this. President-elect Trump said on Monday that after he's inaugurated, the drilling ban will, quote, be changed on day one. What are Americans supposed to make of all this back and forth, and how do you see this playing out?
Well, I can tell you this. What do Virginians think about this? Virginians strongly support President Biden's actions in this regard. The communities of Hampton Roads and the Eastern Shore are built around the Chesapeake Bay. They're built around tourism, around fishing, and they're also built around military operations and commercial shipping, which don't easily coexist with oil rigs. And so my Hampton Roads, Virginia community strongly supports a ban on offshore drilling. And so I don't know, if President Trump, I hope he might listen to what voters think about it rather than just reverse the action. Because if he listens to what Virginians think in the Hampton Roads area, they'll tell him President Biden was right. And let's not do offshore drilling that threatens the core of our regional economy.
Now, another topic I wanted to mention, you spoke about Trump's plans to end birthright citizenship recently. Of course, for our viewers at home, that means anyone born in the United States automatically becomes an American citizen. It's been in place for decades. It applies to children born to someone in the country illegally or in the U.S. on a tourist or student visa who plans to return to their home country. I know you said that you think ending this would hurt America. What do you say to Virginia constituents who may be worried or fearful of deportation once the new administration is in place?
Well, Simone, I'm talking to a lot of people who are fearful of deportation. Birthright citizenship has been in place since 1868, and it was put in the 14th Amendment to the Constitution to basically overturn a horrible decision, the Dred Scott versus Sanford decision that ruled that African Americans, even those born in the country or whose families had lived here for generations, even free African Americans at the time could never be citizens. So we changed our Constitution to clarify that anybody born here is a citizen. And that has led to a global movement where most other nations in the Americas, for example, have a similar provision. Folks are very nervous about the mass deportation threat. I'm not sure it's going to be easy for the president to meet his campaign rhetoric because it would be very, very difficult to do so. But I'm certainly going to do everything I can. Look, if somebody is here illegally and they're doing things that are a danger to others, then sure, deport them. But what if somebody is here and they're here peacefully and they're working and they're paying taxes and they're not creating a public safety challenge? Many of these people are working on Virginia construction sites, working on Virginia farms. You do a mass deportation effort, you could really hurt Virginia's economy. And I think most Virginians understand that. So I'm going to do my very best to sort of separate folks who are here undocumented, who are dangerous, versus folks who are here who are adding to the life of the community, paying taxes and not posing any public safety challenge.
Senator, quickly before we have to let you go, I know you're a Richmonder. Anything you'd like to add about the Virginia water crisis we're seeing play out?
I spoke to the new mayor. I was the mayor of Richmond 25 years ago. I spoke to the new mayor Danny Avila earlier today and offered to be of help. The infrastructure bill we passed a few years ago does have funding for water and wastewater systems. So as he explores this, if he concludes that the more investment is needed, particularly in some parts of the system that are old, we stand ready to help. We have invested in the city's stormwater utility from the infrastructure bill a couple of years ago, and there may be opportunities to assist the city with backup power. It sounds like it was the backup power in this old system that caused the problem, and we want to do all we can to be of help.
All right, Virginia Senator Tim Kaine, appreciate your time. Wishing you a happy new year, and we'll no doubt see you soon. Thank you.
Look forward to talking more. Thanks, Simone.